One of the areas of focus for me over the next, 6 to 9 months is around symmetry. If I'm planning on trying to step on stage next year, want to bring as best I can from a physique to that competition. And with that, need to make sure that there's as much symmetry and proper proportion of all of my muscles to be able to do that competition. So one of the things that I have been trying to address is the fact that I am right arm dominant, which causes a few different things. It means, it could mean that the shoulder is tighter than the other one, so I have a different range of motion. It could mean that I'm engaging more muscles in my arm and shoulder on this side versus the other side. It also means that things like my back, and what I usually pick things up with is my right hand. And so over time, our bodies adopt and they grow that side bigger. I mean, a good example is if you take a look at either tennis players or pitchers, right? You look at guys like Rafa Nadal, and his right arm, or I guess he's left-handed, his left arm is huge and his right arm is skinny. Roger Federer, the opposite for doing that. So for me, I have a few different symmetry issues. One is my left lat, which I have been trying to work on. I've been making a little bit of progress on it. The one that I'm having a lot of trouble with is my right pec. So I am not sure if it's just my range of motion, what I'm doing. I've been trying to, over the last 12 weeks or so, trying to do extra dumbbell presses. I switched from bench press to dumbbell press to make sure that, I wasn't kind of doing more on one arm than the other. I've been doing extra single arm dumbbell presses, trying to bring that in, weighting up more on my cable flies. Again, just trying to see if I can spark that right side to grow more than the left. And one of the things that I asked myself as well was, is it skeletal as well? So one of the things that you run into is that each one of us are muscles attached to our bones in different ways. So it could be perfectly symmetrical, some could be off in a different way that they attach, and there's nothing that you can do about that genetically. Most guys and anybody that's in the bodybuilding stuff, and I talked to my physiotherapist as well, they said, well, pack on more muscle and the symmetry differences will start to disappear on it. But it's one of these things that's just bugging me. So I had asked my physiotherapist, is it skeletal? I showed him some pictures. He says, no, it doesn't look skeletal, but definitely, the right side is underdeveloped. It could be for a different set of reasons. So I'm actually heading there tonight. Both Olivia and I are actually going for physiotherapy. She's getting some work done on her hip for soccer, and I am going to get my physiotherapist, AJ, so it's at Competitive Edge here in Mississauga, for him to take a look at how I'm doing bench, how I'm doing dumbbell bench, how I'm doing push-ups, what I'm doing for flies, checking my range of motion of my shoulder, of where I'm bringing things, and getting some advice from him on how to either work and get more range of motion and flexibility in that shoulder to try to help, and also just correcting any kind of form or things that I'm doing to see what I can do over the next 6 to 8 months to really bring that symmetry back up. So it'll be interesting tonight. I'm going to head there, see what he has to say. Today is luckily is a pull day in the gym, so I'm going to go to the gym at lunch, take a break at lunch, go to the gym. So today is a pull day, upper body, push day, lower body. So when he has me underneath some dumbbells today, I'm not going to be limp noodles tonight, trying to move the weight. So it'll be really interesting to see what he has to say. You can't really watch yourself while you're doing things, and even when you're looking at form, physiotherapists get to see a lot more, and they know how the body is supposed to move, as opposed to me looking at it and going, I think I should be correcting this. So we'll see what AJ has to say, and I'll let you guys know what the verdict is and how I'm going to put a plan together to correct it. Well, had a good physiotherapy session over at Competitive Edge. AJ went to town on my shoulder and bicep and chest area. He's the same guy that did the work on my knee for me and got that my IT band all sorted out for me, which was great. So we were really working on just trying to figure out range of motion. kind of since I'm right side dominant, a lot of the other different muscle groups take over. That joint is tighter. So really, as I'm doing kind of dumbbell flies or push-ups or anything that's a pressing motion, really working on pressing outwards with my elbows to try to get a stretch across the muscle there. So going to be working on that for the presses. Same things for doing some of the different cable flies that I've been doing. I have been loading up the right side with more weight, thinking, well, maybe that will be able to give a little bit more resistance to that side and being able to work the muscle more and see if I can spark some growth in it. But when we got talking about it, it's possible that what I'm doing there is actually causing more of my other muscles to engage to make up for the extra weight that's on that side, and actually doing the opposite of what I was hoping for. So it's taking more away from doing stuff on the chest than it is for being able to add more resistance, because the rest of my traps and my shoulders and everything will start picking up the slack because everything will travel in the path of least resistance for my body. So I'm going to make some corrections there just to do even weight on both sides. Going to continue on doing dumbbell bench press, focusing on pushing those elbows out, and also single arm dumbbell press as well on that side, just to try to give a little bit more exercise that side, really focusing on the stretch that I need to get across there. So we had a few different exercises that I can work on for really stretching and opening up that side before I work out, really trying to get a pull and open up the range of motion for the side of my body there. So that was good. He brought the pain, kneading those muscles with his elbow and really going to town on it. Felt really, really good in a very painful way. So that was pretty cool. It was interesting too. I talked to him about my goals, where I'm trying to get to, the fact that I'm getting back into, trying to do bodybuilding stuff. And he said to me too, he said, unless you really mentioned it to me and I saw you, I wouldn't have noticed really the symmetry differences. And so we talked about that a little bit, just really that, even looking at myself in the mirror, I don't tend to see it. But when I see more of like a photo from a further away, it's really predominant and I can see that. So from a judging perspective and you get into a stage kind of event, then I'm just trying to bring my best that I can bring. And it's been kind of bugging me. I can see the fullness difference on my left side, my right side when I just look down at my body. So just really trying to figure out how to correct that and bring it back to where I want to bring it. So continuing to work on that over the next little while. Work on those exercises. I'll do that concentration of what we're trying to do there that AJ suggested, and we'll see how things turn out. It's going to be a long-term thing that I'll have to work on. It's something that doesn't change overnight, so this is months and months of work to be able to see if I can get kind of a change back in there. But looking forward to another challenge, another thing to try to accomplish, and we'll just take it day by day. So that's kind of the status of where we are. I'll start doing some of those exercises that I mentioned, and hopefully we end up seeing a difference. I just got back from actually a really good workout today. Was push for my upper body, pull for my lower body. So from a push perspective, I got to try and stretch out my shoulder, stretch out the range of motion from my right hand side, like we were talking about with AJ at physiotherapy. Really tried to concentrate on pushing that out and feeling the stretch on my chest as I was doing dumbbell presses and in my chest different motions there. Also dropped the weight on my right hand side for my flies. Again, that kind of felt a little bit better as well. So we'll have to do some stuff long term to see if it starts to make a difference in symmetry. But today was really good. Was a day I felt really strong. Ended up adding another 20 pounds to my deadlift for reps, for being able to do my reps of 10 each. So that was good. So I'm kind of each day trying to push a little bit more, starting to meet some people there, and being able to strike up some conversations. So seeing some of the different regulars. So it's kind of cool. So tomorrow is going to be a back-to-back day. So I'm going to head back again tomorrow. It's the Friday for the Easter Friday, so it's a holiday. I'm trying to get in a workout there because I'm traveling up to see my parents on the Saturday, Sunday. So I'll miss those workouts on the weekend. So just trying to jam one in tomorrow instead. But it should be good. Got the car battery for the Subaru charging. So hopefully tomorrow get the Subaru back out onto the road for the summer, as Olivia calls it, the race car. So maybe be able to do a little bit of cruising tomorrow and letting some fuel burn a little bit and have some fun tomorrow. So should be good. Like I said, just trying to get the different things going on for the chest from a Symmetry perspective. But it's something that I'm just going to have to keep at it, and hopefully it all turns out the way that I want.